everybody. So it's good to know. Eric and I are about to go hiking tomorrow. We're planning on doing some or all of the Carters. And it's probably the first time this year that we've actually, the night before, the day before, done some planning. It's probably because we might be out there for 10 hours. The weather looks very questionable. We'll see how it goes. Dun, dun, dun. So it's first thing in the morning, bright and early, and we're off. The weather's not looking terrible. We've got a lot of different options as far as what we could potentially do today. Our goal, though, is to hit Carter Dome, South Carter, and Middle Carter. So we'll see how things work out. It's a lovely morning here in New Hampshire. And we are heading, first of all, to Carter Dome. We haven't done anything too significant this year as far as mileage goes. And so I haven't had a ton of stuff in my pack, knowing that we could potentially be doing over 14 miles today. I feel like I've packed my whole life in there. Everything. All my items. This is our official 1 mile check-in. But yeah, so far so good. Nothing of interest to report. We've basically zoned out knowing that we have a long day ahead of us and don't even have to think about finding a trail intersection until almost mile 2. Here we are, just about 2 miles in, and we're going to be bearing left here onto Carter Dome Trail. Up to this point, it's been great. Great hike, beautiful river, lots of fun, no issues. You know what I'm excited about for this hike? Zeta Pass. I think it's a great name for a trail. I have no idea what to expect other than it sounds so Middle Earth that I can only imagine that we're going to see Gandolf there.
You shall not pass!
I mean, not to make any assumptions or anything, but it seems like the only logical thing to expect. It's always a little weird when for a minute the trail itself is actually a river. We all know that I like to acknowledge at what point in the hike do we start going up. Right about mile 3. And it's not horrible. And listen to this. There are switchbacks. I know. What is a switchback? Something New England. Hey, and just like that, mile 3.8. Anyway, time to get to Carter Dome. This sign says 1.5 miles. This sign says 1.2. It's hard to know who's going to be right. Let's go, Mrs. Ellington. Lead the way, my friend. Where are you? Hey, it looks like we made it. So, peak 1 of the day, kind of a low-key summit, but we'll take it. We've had worse. It is now 8:42 in the morning, and here we are. I love a low-key summit. Great hike so far, though. So we're making our way now to Mount Height, and both of us can't help but to notice what an absolutely adorable little trail this is. I think at some point everybody notices that many of my favorite hikes spend actually quite a bit of time meandering through the woods. And then, hey, every now and then we pop up and we take a look above these little trees. We're in the final stretch up towards the summit of Mount Height. And looks like we are going to get some good views from up here. epic summit here on South Carter. A couple clouds in the distance, but according to the weather, we still have a couple hours before we have anything to worry about. Not a terrible walk between Mount Height and South Peak. Definitely some ups in the last 1/10 of a mile to get here, but warm temps, no wind, nothing too exciting. Bugs are thick today. So we are making our way now over to Middle Carter. That's going to be our final peak of the day. The bugs today are horrible, and I have black flies all over my face. I have to assume it's because of the no wind situation. I can feel it on my face right now. So this is kind of a first, which is annoying, but we are at just over 7 miles at this point and have been hiking for about 4 hours, which counts all of our breaks, and we have taken a few. A long day like this, especially with the dog, we make sure that we stop and have a snack and hydrate, and we let her rest. Yeah, on our way to Middle Carter. A few clouds rolling in, like I mentioned before, but nothing ominous, and we'll be below tree line before we know. We're below tree line now, but permanently below tree line before we know it. Got about a mile or so to go before we get there, so I'm going to enjoy the walk. Not too long ago.
Here we are, Middle Carter?
Middle Carter.
Middle Carter. So far, it's been great. These trails are great. The only problem is no wind, so the bugs are terrible, as probably previously mentioned. But everything is, this peak is a little not terribly impressive. It's just part of the trail. Apparently, there's better views over here. You're coming with me as I walk. Oh, look, an outcropping. Not bad views as soon as you get off the trail. But yeah, so third peak of the day. Well, fourth peak, third 4,000 footer. Done and dusted. So sweet. Now to head home.
Here's where we just were. Nice up here. Cooled off a little bit. Clouds are definitely moving in, but hey, we're moving in the right direction for that. It's really pretty up here though. Really nice. We decided just for fun that we would walk over and tag North Carter as well. It's only a very, very short extra walk, and we figured why not? It's still a solid day. We're feeling fine. It's early, which is rare for us. Little view. We are officially heading down now, and got a little ways to go. We're definitely going to have, let's see, 4+ miles before we even get back to the main drag of Route 16, and then we're going to have about 1.5 miles or so hike back to our car, which is kind of crappy, but we don't have 2 cars, and it didn't really seem like there was any point in having Lee, that's my dad, come and give us a ride for 1.5 miles. That's just dumb. So walk we shall, and walk and walk and walk. Making our way down on Imp Trail right now, and we just got caught, not unexpectedly, but suddenly in a mini downpour. Seems like the weather is moving in ever so slightly earlier than I had anticipated, but we are rapidly descending. Now here's the thing, Eric and I, you know what? We don't melt. It's fine. We're careful on these wet rocks, but we don't care if it rains on us. It's not a big deal. Mrs. Ellington, it started to rain, and she tucked her tail between her butt cheeks, and she ran into the pucker brush. Pretty smart, actually. Like, she went all feral on us. And so I dashed in after her and actually found that it was quite pleasant hiding under the tree branches. But we're not going to hunker down for the rest of the afternoon. We are going to push forward and get off this mountain before it really starts getting gross out. We're always saying that we don't hike on a 5-lane super highway. remarkably non-trafficy in this split second, but motorcycles and whatnot have been whipping by. I think it's about 1.5 miles. It's going to be so delightful. So we made it back, and it was a really good hike. Even though we did run into some weather on the way down, it was nothing terrible, just a couple of little pop-up aggressive showers. That's what we'll call them. So it was 14.8 miles, and we did it in about 7.5 hours, and that included all of our breaks and whatnot as well. So definitely a good hike. We got that one bonus peak. We also hit North Carter, which we weren't expecting to do, but I think that all three of us really enjoyed it quite a bit, actually, much more than I expected to, and felt like it was really doable. I mean, it was a long hike for sure, but there were no really technical aspects to it. No scrambles, no boulder fields, nothing really horrendous. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's still a lot. It's still a lot of miles, and you've got to be prepared for that sort of thing. But it definitely, in our opinion, falls under the doable category. It's good. So it wraps up another great day in the mountains.